Gurave sarvalokanam vishuje bhavaroginam nidhaye sarvavidyanam Shri Dakshinamurtaye namaha. Shruti smriti purananam alayam karunalayam namami Bhagavat Padashankaram Lokashankaram Apara Karuna Sindhum Jnanadam Shantarupinam Shri Chandrasekhara Gurum Pranamami Mudanvaham Sadguru Charanarvindabhyan Namaha Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Kanchi Dama Karikalabha Kumbhastaranata Parikshina Madhye Parinita Sharachandravana Dhanurbanan Pasham Shridimapi Dadhana Karatalaihi Purastadastamnaha Puramathitu Rahu Purushika. In Lalita Sahasranamam, this week we are going to see a very interesting topic. In fact, this is something which all of us take for granted. And we don't know, like even secularly, even apart from religious concepts, we don't know that in that process there are a lot of steps involved, and without knowing all of this, we use it daily. So that is what we are going to see. And here Vagdevis are going to say that process is nothing but Ambad. So it is a very beautiful concept that is very unique to our Sanatana Dharma, and is very, very important for the tradition of Sri Vidya. The tradition of Sri Vidya Upasana and Nadopasana. We have to see Shloka 81. Para pratyakchiti rupa pashyanti paradevata madhyama vaikhari rupa bhakta manasahamsika. Here, Vagdevis are extolling Ambal as the Vak Swarupam. Vak means speech, right? How do we speak? We all think that we just speak with the throat. We have vocal cord in our throat and noise just comes out of that vocal cord. We don't even know how that process happens. We might know the physical process of how the vocal cord vibrates, which gives rise to several frequencies, which gives rise to several different sounds. So we have a good knowledge about how sound is created, but sound is not speech, because sound doesn't communicate any ideas. It is speech which communicates ideas to others. And even according to science, even according to evolution, the scientists say that the ability to communicate one's ideas very clearly to others, it is a very important milestone in evolution. In fact, that is what separates us from all the animals. All the animals, they have the same body as we have. They have 4 legs. They have 4 legs. We have 2 hands and 2 legs. They have a face. We also have a face. They too have a brain. We too have a brain. But they cannot communicate their ideas very clearly. They can communicate, but it is a very primitive level of communication. We have a lot of developed, we have an advanced level of communication. And that is what separates us from animals, according to science. So ability to communicate very clearly one's ideas through multiple different mediums. And among the different mediums, that is, we have speech, we have writing. Among all those mediums, speech is what came very, very early. In fact, all the writing scripts and all, they came later. They came much more later. Before all those writing scripts, before the evolution of all those scripts, with which we write, A, B, C, D, R, A, E, E, etc. We communicated through words. And like, how do the words arise out? Like when I speak, when I talk about Lalita Sahasranamam to others, where are my ideas stored? How are my ideas crystallized? There are several words to communicate the same idea, right? And how do I choose one word than the other? There are several. For example, if I want to say Agni, fire, if I want to refer to the idea of fire, there are several words in Sanskrit. One of the words is Agni, the other word is Jata Vedaha, The other word is Vannihi. All these words are there. But when I say Agnaye Namaha or Agnaye Swaha, how do I crystallize? How do I choose the word Agni over the other words, Vanni or Jatavedas? This is just one example according to Shastra. So this is what is discussed in detail in Shastras, but it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop only like how do I choose Agni or Vanni or Jatavedas. Even our day-to-day life, we have several words. Our vocabulary is endless. We have a very vast vocabulary in our native language or in any other language. But when we want to communicate an idea to other, we only choose certain set of words over the other set of words. And that process is instantaneous. Nobody says, okay, I think about that word and then I consciously choose one word over the other and then I tell that word. We don't do that very consciously. But that process happens because we all know that our vocabulary is widely there. And we only choose a certain set of words for certain occasions. Sometimes it is good. Sometimes the word come out the way which we want, like, the way that we want. And sometimes, unfortunately, we speak wrong words and that ends up hurting others. So we have all those things happening. And we know that all those things happening because we experience it in our day-to-day life. If we speak bad about others or if we misspoke, we don't know that when we misspoke that we are misspeaking. But after some time, before going to bed or, when you are not doing anything, we will be reliving those situations. And then we thought, okay, maybe I used some harsh words with him. Maybe I could have expressed my ideas in a better way, maybe in an office setting, maybe in a family setting, etc. So how do all those process happens? Our Shastras have thought about all these ideas. And we have great Shastras written, like multiple textbook written over how the ideas being communicated to one another. And as always, the Shastra gives certain names because we always want to give a certain name. When the water is solid, we call it as ice. When the water is liquid, we call it as water. When the same water is in a gaseous form, we call it as steam. Those are just names. Those are just names for transactional purposes. But in order to tell that to other, okay, this is ice, people understand. This is water, people understand its properties. It is steam, people understand its properties. It is the same thing, but at several steps, depending upon which state the water is in, we give them certain names. In the same way, the idea is the same. The concepts, the ideas that we want to communicate, it is just the same. Depending upon its maturity, depending upon how mature the idea is, we give certain names to those ideas. And that is what here Vagdevis are saying. All these are Ambar. All these are Ambar, says Vagdevi. Para, it is the first step. Pashyanti, it is the second step. Madhyama, it is the third step. And Vaikhari, it is the fourth step. So there are 4 steps. We will just see the steps first, and then we will see the Nama. There is a great Tyagaraja Kriti as well that tells about these ideas. So we will see that as well, because this is a very interesting topic. And this topic is so apt today, because today is also the Moola Nakshatram. Mahaprabhu says in Devathan Kural, Moola Nakshatram is for Saraswati Devi, for Vak, and he has prescribed several sadhanas in Devathan Kural in order to have good Vak. Vak means like Sanskritam Vak, V-A-K, not the English Vak. Sanskritam Vak means speech. So that is what he says in Devathan Kural as well. So today being Moola Nakshatram in the US, I think it is like divine, like this has been planned by Ambar, so that we have to see this Nama today. So let us see what are the different steps of Vak, like speech, and how it manifests itself, and how is Ambar related to the Vak. We all have all the ideas that we want to speak. All the ideas are within us. In fact, it is a very great, in fact, even this concept is said in Shastras itself. Nothing can be created. You cannot create anything. Even science says matter can never be created nor be destroyed. You can convert matter to energy or energy to matter, but you cannot create a new matter. In the same way, whatever the knowledge that we have, it is already there in our Karana Sharira. We have 3 Sharirams. Whatever we see in this body is called as Sthula Sharira. And we have a Sukshma Shariram, we have a Karana Shariram as well. So whatever ideas, whatever jnanam that we have, it is already there in our Karana Shariram, in an unmanifest form. Just like how the huge banyan tree is present in a seed in an unmanifest form. The banyan tree is so huge, but if you see the seed, it is very, very small. You cannot recognize that banyan tree by looking at the seed, but the seed has got the potential to grow into a huge banyan tree. The seed does not grow in the banyan seed does not grow into a tamarind tree. The banyan seed does not grow into a banana tree. No, a banyan seed can only grow into a banyan tree. So whatever that is being manifested, it has to be there in a seed form, in an unmanifest form. We think that we acquire knowledge. That is wrong, says Shastra. The knowledge is already there. Just like how the banyan seed grows into a banyan tree, in the same way, the knowledge that we have in an unmanifest form, it becomes manifested. And all the books that we read, all the Shravanam that we do from Guru Mukha, all those things, they only help you, just like how water and mud and like the earth, how like the air, just like how water, air and the earth helps the banyan seed to reach its fullest potential. In the same way, whatever the jnana sadhana that we do, like for example, you are listening to Lalitha sahasranamam. All these things, they only do a supplementary role, just like earth, water and air. But we all have that seed. We all have that jnanam seed. And that is called as para. Para means having ideas in a potential form. Having ideas in an unmanifest form is called as para. அதனால்தான் அம்பாள பராசக்தி அப்படிங்கிறோம். Because Ambal, she is the unmanifested raw energy which drives the universe. Ambal is called as para. So para is that knowledge, is that ideas that we have in an unmanifest form, that is called as para. Shastra say that Shakti is present in all of us in our Mooladhara chakra. We are going to see all those chakras later. In fact, in next 10 or 20 shlokas, it's going to come. But let us just take for granted, just believe me for now, that when I say, okay, this is Mooladhara chakra, and then we will see about all these chakras later. So all the ideas are present in all of us in the form of Kundalini Shakti in our Mooladhara chakra. So that unmanifest, uncrystallized idea is called as para, parashakti. Para. Next, that idea comes up. That idea which is present in the Mooladhara chakra, it comes up until our navel region. Nabhisthanam. So the idea which is unmanifested, uncrystallized idea, it comes up to our navel region where the idea mixes with our mind. The idea, it normally what we think is that the ideas are born in our mind. That is what everybody thinks. The ideas are not born in our mind because mind is Sukshma Sharira. But para, it is present in the Karana Sharira. So, Karana is even more subtler than the Sukshma Sharira. So mind is there somewhere, but these ideas are there in our Karana Sharira. So only in our Nabhisthana, the ideas which is coming up from the Mooladhara chakra, it combines with our mind. That is why different people communicate the same idea differently, because they all have different minds. And we say, okay, I know that whatever I said is wrong, but at that moment, the spur of the moment, I just said it. We say, because our mind was not clear. Whatever the idea, the ideas are like that white light. Our mind is like that filter. If you have green color paper in front of white light, you are going to get a green light. If you have a blue color paper in front of a white light, you will get a blue light. In the same way, the idea that comes up from the Mooladhara Chakra, the idea, the para that comes up from the Mooladhara Chakra, it mixes with our mind in our Nabhisthana, called as Manipuraka Chakra. And even then, we have several ideas. We have several ideas for the same thing that comes up. And that gets filtered, that gets mixed with our mind in our Nabhisthana. And then from our Nabhisthana, the ideas that is combined with our mind, it travels to our Hridayasthana, called as Anahata Chakra. In our Hridayasthana, all those parallel ideas are being unified, and we have a Nischayatmaka Buddhi. That is, say you are in a meeting. This is very apt example, I think. You are in a meeting and somebody, your boss is telling something wrong. Your boss is telling something very wrong, obviously. You want to say no to your boss. There are two ways to do it. The first thing we will say, hey boss, you are stupid, your idea is stupid, that will not make sense, that will not work. You can tell that. You will get fired later, but you can tell that. Or the second is, hey boss, that is an interesting idea. Maybe we can even try this. So you are telling the same thing. You are communicating the same idea, but in a different way. So the idea that comes in our Nabhisthana is like that. You have two different ideas that comes up in our Nabhisthana, mixes with our mind. And in our Anahata Chakra, you consciously choose to go one way over the other. Instead of telling, hey boss, your idea is stupid, you are saying, hey boss, okay, that is a very interesting idea. How about this another idea? So in our Nischayatmaka, in our Anahata Chakra, that is Hridaya Chakra, you make that conscious effort to go with one way over the other way. And then from the Anahata Chakra, it travels to your throat, called as Vishuddhi Chakra. It travels to your throat, and at that point, it combines with your throat, Vishuddhi Chakra. Throat means what? Your speaking mechanism, your throat, your mouth, your nose, all these three regions is where, the vocal cord is present. And then that idea then is put with words. The same idea, you mix with words and then you express that idea out. And that happens in your throat, Shastra says. So the idea is present in the Mooladhara Chakra. That idea comes up to our Nabhisthana, where it gets mixed up with the mind. And the same idea with the mind, it comes up to our Hridayasthana, called as Anahata Chakra, where you have a Nischayatmaka Buddhi. Okay, this is what I'm going to say. You say that. You have the idea in a very crystallized form, but the idea does not have any words to it. And then when you speak it out, you mix that idea with words and then it comes out of your mouth. So Shastra gives these four states, four different names. Para is that unmanifested, uncrystallized idea in your Kundalini Chakra, in your Mooladhara Chakra. That is called as Para. And then Pashyanti is the name that is given to the idea where it mixes with the mind. In Manipuraka Chakra, in Nabhisthana, in our navel region, where the idea gets mixed with your mind, the same idea is given a name called as Pashyanti. And then The same idea, it travels upwards to your Nabhisthana, to your Anahata, to your Hridaya Chakra, Hridaya Sthana, Anahata Chakra. And there, the same idea is called as Madhyama. Madhyama is that idea in your Anahata Chakra, Hridaya Sthana. And then when the same idea is being even more grossified through your Vishuddhi Chakra, the same idea is called as Vaikhari. So Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama, Vaikhari. It is the way in which the idea travels out. நம்ம சொல்றோம், யோசிக்காம நம்ம பேசிடுறோம். But when we speak, all these things happens within our body. We just don't take notice of all those things. But we have to, because all these four are Ambal. Even Vak is Ambal. Vagartha viva samprittau Vagartha pradipattaye Jagatah pitarau vande Parvati Parameshwarau, says Kalidasa. Hey Ambal, you and Parameshwara are like that Vag and its meaning. Vag means words. Artha means meaning. Ambal is like that word. Parameshwara is like that meaning for the word. Just like how you cannot separate a word and its meaning, you cannot separate Parameshwara and Parvati, says Kalidasa. Even in Abhirami Andadi, Abhirama Pattar says, Sullum Purulum Yana Nadamadum Tunaivarudan, Pullum Parimala Pungodiye, Nin Pudumalartal, Allum, Pagalum, Turum, Avarke, Ariya Arasum, Sellum, Tavanerium, Sivalogamum Siddhikime, Sullum Purulum Yana Nadamadum Tunaivarudan, says Abhirama Pattar. Sullum Purulum, Sul means word. Purul means meaning. Hey Ambal, you are dancing with Parameshwara, just like how the word dances with its meaning. They just cannot be separated. So Vak is Ambal Swarupam. And previously I said, Ambal is Agni Swarupam. We said, Jata Veda se Sunuva Maso Mamaradi Yato Nidha Triveda Vannimandala Vasini. When seeing that Nama, we said Ambal is Vannimandala Vasini. Ambal is the fire energy. That is why we say in Tirukkural, Thiruvalluvar says, Thiyinal Suttapun Ullarum Arade Navinal Suttavadu. He compares the speech with fire. If you are burnt with fire, that goes away sometimes. After some days, even the mark will not be there. But if somebody has hurt you with their vak, with their speech, it is going to be even more hurting. Says Thiruvalluvar in this Tirukkural, Teenal Suttapun Ullarum Arade Navinal Suttavadu. So Vak and Agni, they are very, very related to each other because they all are Ambal. Agnirme Vachishritaha Vaghridaye Hridayammayi Aham Amrite Amritam Brahmani. When we do Lagunyasam, we say Agnihi me Vachishritaha. Let Agni be present in my Vak, because Agni is present in all of our Vak. That is why it can light. Our Vak can light up others with knowledge. It can also create heat in others' mind. So just like how fire can do both light and heat, our Vak can also, it can light up others with knowledge. It can enlighten others. It can also heat up others. That is why we have to use our Vak very, very judiciously. Agnir me vachishritaha, me vachihi agrihi shritaha. Let Agni be present in my Vak. That is what we pray in our Lagunyasa before chanting Rudra. Vak yajnena kalpatam. Vak yajnena kalpatam. Adanalda Swami Omkarananda, when he wanted to give a name, he gave the name Agni for his lecture series. Because he himself says why he has named it as Agni, because Agni is related to Vak. That is why he said he has named that program as Agni, because Agni has got potential. Vak has got Agni Swarupam. So Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama, and Vaikhari. In fact, Tyagaraja in one of his Kirtana, he exactly says these things. There is a Kirtana called as Shobhillu Saptaswara. In that Kirtana, Tyagaraja explains this process. Normally, people have this misunderstanding that Tyagaraja is a great Bhaktiman, but he doesn't know anything other than Bhakti. If you go in a learned circle, people say this, Tyagaraja, who is a great Bhaktiman, but he's not equivalent to Dikshita or Shyama Shastri, where they deal about all the technical aspects of Sri Vidya, all Yoga Shastra and all, only they deal. Tyagaraja, he only says Bhakti, Bhakti, Bhakti. But it is not so. He's a great yogi. He's a great, he's a great learned person, technical person. But he just expressed his ideas through bhakti, through all these small kirtana. So in the kirtana called as Shobhillu Saptaswara, he explains how the vak is being created, how the swaras, because all the vak can be combined to all the saptaswaras, right? 7 swaras. So he says how the vak is being created, how the saptaswaras is being created, says Tyagaraja. So we have a person to sing that song for us, sing that kirtana for us, and then we will see that kirtana. We can see how that kirtana can be easily compared with all these namas in Lalita Sahasranama. So Shobhillu Saptaswara.
Namaskaram. Shobhillu saptaswara, 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 Sundarula bhajimpave manasa, Shobhillu saptaswara, Shobhillu saptaswara, Shobhillu saptaswara, Sundarula bhajimpave manasa, Shobhillu saptaswara. नाभि हृत्कण्ठरसना, 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 नासादूलयन्दो, नाभि हृत्कण्ठरसना, नासादूलयन्दो, नाभि हृत्कण्ठरसना, नासादूलयन्दो, Shobhillu saptaswara, Sundarul bhajimpave manasa, Shobhillu saptaswara. Tharariksa madhulalo, Tharariksa madhulalo tharariksa madhulalo tharariksa madhulalo tharariksa madhulalo tharariksa madhulalo varagayatri hridayamuna tharariksa madhulalo varagayatri hridayamuna surabhusuramanassamuna surabhusura manasamuna surabhusura manasamuna surabhusura manasamuna surabhusura manasamuna surabhusura manasamuna surabhusura manasamuna shubhatyagaraju niyada surabhusura manasamuna shubhatyagaraju niyada shobhilu saptaswara sundarula bhajimpave manasa shobhilu saptaswara.
So here Tyagaraja says, Shobhillu Shabdaswara Sundarula Bhajimpave Manasa Nabhi Hrit Kantharasana Nasadhula Yantu. Nabhi. He doesn't refer to para because para is unmanifest form, but that idea, that Saptashwara, it gets manifested in our Nabhisthana. Nabhisthana is what? Para pratyakchiti rupa pashyanti. Nabhisthana is pashyanti, right? So Nabhi pashyanti. Hrit means our heart. In Anahata Chakra, the same Saptashwara, that is what the Vak is being called as in Anahata Chakra as Madhyama. Nabhi Hrit. And then Kantha Rasana Nasadhula Yantu. Kantha means throat. Rasana, Jihva, our tongue. Nasadhula, in our nose. So all these three things, the idea gets crystallized and then it comes out of us as Vaikhari. So this is what Tyagaraja says in his Kriti, Shobhillu Saptaswara. And even this is what Lalitha Sahasranama also says. And Lalitha Sahasranama says, all these forms are Ambal Swarupam. Para pratyakchiti rupa pashyanti paradevata madhyama vaikhari rupa bhaktamanasa hamsika. So with this background, let us see the actual namas and then we will see the meanings. So para, paraye namaha. Para means that unmanifested Vak Shakti that is present in all of our Mooladhara Chakra. That is called as para. The next nama is Pratyag Chiti Rupa. Pratyag Chiti. Pratyagatman meaning which is very, very near to us. Which is very, very near to us, inside us. Abdine Solalam. Adiperdam Pratyagatman. The Jiva Atma who is obtained within this body is called as Pratyagatman in Advaita tradition. Technically. So Ambal is present within all of us, right? So Pratyagatma as Parashakti. Parashakti. As Parashakti. And then Pashyanti. Para Pratyak Chiti Rupa. Pashyanti. Pashyanti is the same idea which is present in our Nabhisthana. In our Manipuraka Chakra, where the idea gets mixed with our mind. So that is called as Pashyanti. And then Para Devata. Para means Utkrishtam. Utkrishta is called as Para. She is present. She is the Paradevata, means she is the higher of all the other Devatas. Higher than the highest. And then Madhyama, the same idea which comes up Utkrishta, it has to come up, right? So the same idea, it comes up until your Anahata Chakra, called as Madhyama, Madhyamaye Namaha. The Hindi la Pratmik Madhyama la edurame, anda Madhyama la. This is Madhyama because it is present in between. Madhyila irukradanaala idhukku peru Madhyamanu peru. Ambal, she is present in our Anahata Chakra. The Vag Devi that is present, that gets converted in our Anahata Chakra, that Nischayatmaka Buddhi is called as Madhyama. And then Vaikhari. Vaikhari, when the same idea comes out of us with words, that is called as Vaikhari. The same idea which comes out from us as words is called as Vaikhari. In fact, even this Vaikhari is very, very interesting because later Ambal is going to be called as Bhasha Rupa in Lalitha Sahasranamam, because Vaikhari is what? It comes out as words. It mixes with words and then it comes out as words. Ambal is in the form of language because words, they belong to language, right? Ambal is Bhasha Rupa Brihatsena. In fact, there is a great grammar book for Sanskritam called as Paninian Sanskritam, Ashtadhyayi abdin solluvom. In Ashtadhyayi, sage Panini tells how does the language come up, because Vaikhari is that language. Vaikhari is that idea put into words, right? So language. How does the language come from? How does the words, how does the letters, because all these words can be reduced into letters. All these letters, they combine, permutation, combination, and then they form words, right? How does these letters come from? Says Panini in his Ashtadhyayi, the Sanskrita grammar book. He says, Nrittavasane Nataraja Rajo Nanada Dakkam Nava Panchavaram. Nrittavasane Nataraja Rajaha, the great Nataraja Parameshwara, during his Nritta Avasana, when he was dancing after Pralayam, he wants to create this universe. So he does dance. Nataraja, he does dance after the Pralayam. Nanada Dhakkam Nava Panchavaram. He has this Udukkai in his hand, right? Udukkai. And then he Udukkai Udukka Adikkiradumba Tamilla. The Udukkaya 14 times he strike that Udukkai, it seems. Nanada Dhakkam Nava Panchavaram. Nava means 9. Pancha means 5. 9 plus 5, 14. Nanada Dhakkam Nava Panchavaram. Uddhartu Kamaha Sanakadi Siddhan. Etad Vimarshe Shiva Shutra Jalam. Why Uddhartu Kamaha Sanakadi Siddhan Etad Vimarshe Shiva Sutra Jalam. From that 14 times, when Parameshwara, he played his Udukkai 14 times, 14 different sounds came. And only that sound is the basis for all the languages. Says, especially Sanskritam language, says Panini. In fact, we all know that 14 sounds when we doing, this is especially chanted during Avani Avatam. Avani Avatam முடிஞ்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் வாத்தியார் சொல்லுவார், ஐ உன் ரிலுக்கு ஏ ஓங் ஐ ஔச் ஹயவரட் லண்ண ஞாமங்கணனம் ஜபை கடதஷ் ஜபகடதஷ் கப சடத சடதௌ கபை shashasar hal. If we know all these 14 things, these are Ayun is one line, Riluk is another line, Yewong is another line, I ouch is another line. In fact, Panini Maharishi, he has formulated the entire Sanskritam language just with this 14 sutras. It's a great feat in itself. And he says all these came from Parameshwara's Udukkai, Parameshwara's Udukkai. And then Nandikeshwara, Nandikeshwara is Parameshwara's Vahanam, right? He has written a vritti for this Maheshwara Sutrani. Panini Maharishi, he calls it as Maheshwarani Sutrani, Iti Maheshwarani Sutrani. Abdinda nama vandu Punal Avaniyavattam Punal Pottundu idella Vadiyar solli tharuvar. Everybody can learn this. Everybody has to learn this. But Vadiyar will teach, all those people after doing the Avaniyavattam. And Nandikeshwara, when he writes this vritti, he says, Sarvam paratmakam purvam jnapti matram idan jagat jnapter vibhuya pashyan jnapter babhuva pashyanti madhyama vak tatasmrita vaktre vishuddha chakrakhe vaikhari sa mata tataha. He says, so sarvam paratmakam purvam. Every language, all the things are present as paratmakam purvam. Jnaptamatram idan jagat, in an unmanifested form. Jnapter babhuva pashyanti madhyama vak tatasmrita. Jnaptehe babhuva pashyanti. So after that pashyanti comes and then madhyama comes. Madhyama vak tatasmrita. Vaktre vishuddha chakrakhe vaikhari sa mata tataha. Vaktre, in your face. Vishuddha chakrakre, in the Vishuddhi chakra, the same vak is called as vaikhari sa mata tataha. It is called as vaikhari. So all these things are called as Shabda Brahman. Shabda Brahman is a very important concept in our Sanatana Dharma, meaning sound as Brahma Vastu. All these Vedas, we only hear it as, we only hear and then we transmit orally, right? All those letters things, they came later. All those writing, reading from a book, all these things, they came later. It is only listened to and then spoken. So all these things are Ambal Swarupam. That is why we have to be very, 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 very important in using our vak. Priyam vada, satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat, nabruyat, satyam apriyam. Because if we use our vak for unproductive, in an unproductive manner, it is equivalent to disrespecting Ambal. Because all of our vak is Ambal. If we disrespect Ambal, it is not good. Satyam vada, dharmanchara, satyam vada is always speak the truth. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat, nabruyat, satyam apriyam. Always speak the truth. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat. Always speak in a manner which is liked by others. You know, we have to speak in a way which others like. Even if you are telling the truth, it has to be put in a good form. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat, nabruyat, satyam apriyam. Even if it is true, nabruyat satyam, satyam. Even if it is true, if it is going to hurt others, just close your mouth, says Shastra. Nabruyat satyam, because we take people for granted, and then we will think, okay, what I am saying is good for him only. That is why I am using those harsh words. Shastra say we be very, very careful in using harsh words, especially with others, especially with your near and dear ones, because all the words, all the ideas are Ambal Swarupam. Para pratyakchiti rupa pashyanti paradevata madhyama vaikari rupa bhakta manasa hamsika. Moving on to the next shloka. Kameshwara prananadi kritagnya kama pujita shringara rasa sampurna jaya jalandara sita. Okay, we left the last word in the previous shloka. Bhakta manasa hamsika. Ambal is like that hamsam. Hamsam na theriyum illaya, anna pakshi அப்படிம்பா. Ambal is like that swan who is floating, who is swimming in the manas, in the mind of all her bhaktas. In fact, in all of our minds, Ambal is present as the swan, Hamsa Swarupam abdingra. This nama has got lots of different meanings. So one very gross meaning, very simple meaning that we can do, that we can take is that Hamsa, Anna Pakshiki, they say a very peculiar, it is a mythical bird. It is a mythological bird. They say, if you combine milk and water and give it to this Anna Pakshi, it has got the capacity to drink just the milk and not the water, apparently. So it can separate good things from adulteration. In the same way, Ambal is present in all of our heart. She only sees good things that are present in our heart. Just like how the swan, it rejects water, In the same way, Ambal also rejects the adulteration in our mind. Does not mean that we have to have a lot of adulteration. But even if we have some adulteration, because Ambal is Srimata, she rejects that in our mind, from our mind, says this Nama Bhakta Manasa Hamsika. But this Hamsa has got a real another meaning in the tradition of Vedanta and in Sri Vidya. Hamsaha, Hamsaha, it literally means one. But if you repeat Hamsa, 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 just like how if we say Mara, 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 it becomes Rama, 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 right? In the same way, if you chant Hamsa, 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 what you will get is Ahamsaha, Ahamsa, Ahamsa, Sa Aham. Hamsa means Saham, Saham, Saham. Hamsa, 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 Hamsa means Ahamsaha, Ahamsa, Ahamsa, or Saham, 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 Saham. What is Saham or Ahamsaha? Saha, it refers to Brahma Vastu. Whenever the first, third person singular, whenever the letter for third person singular comes in Sanskritam language, it always refers to Paramatma. Tat, Paramatma Swarupam. Tat Padalakshyartha, we saw that. Tat means Paramartha Swarupam. In the same way, Saha means he. Third person singular. It refers to Paramatma. Aham Saha. I am that Brahman. I am that Brahman. It is a Vedantic Mahavakyam. Hamsaha. It is a Vedantic Mahavakyam. Hamsa, 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 Hamsa na. Ahamsaha, 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 Ahamsaha. Abdina, Aham, I am. Saha is Brahma. Aham Brahmasmi. அப்படிங்கிற அந்த வேதாந்த மகா வாக்கியத்தை இந்த ஹம்சா 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 ஹம்சாங்கிறதுனால நம்ம சொல்றோம். That is why they do Hamsa Gayatri Japamandal. Hamsa Hamsa Paramahamsa Soham Hamsa Soham Hamsaha Hamsa Hamsaya Vidmahe Paramahamsaya Dhimahi Tanno Hamsa Prachodayat Gamagamastam Gaganadishunyam Chidrupadipam Timirapaharam Pashyami te sarva janantarastam namami bhamsam paramatma rupam. When we do Mahanyasa, we chant this mantra. Gamagamastam gaganadishunyam chidrupadipam timirapaharam namami te sarva janantarastam. Say te sarva jana antarastam. Hey Paramahamsa, hey Brahman, you are in each and everybody. Sarva janantarastam, sarva jana antarastam. Namami hamsam paramatma rupam. You are that Paramatma Rupam. Adhanaliye, because Ambal is that Parabrahma Vastu which is present in everybody's heart. Yantra Rudhani Maya. Bil Solralia, Kshetragyam Chapi Mam Vitti, Sarva Kshetreshu Bharata. Kshetragyam, Kshetragya Palning and the Namatla the Patham. Kshetragyam Chapi Mam Vitti, Sarva Kshetreshu Bharata. So Ambal is present as Brahma Vastu, as the Prakasha Shakti of Brahma Vastu in all of our hearts. That is why Ambal is called as Bhakta Manasa Hamsika. There is also another meaning. I mean, this Nama, Bhaskararaya writes a huge, beautiful meaning. We will see different, all the different meanings of this Nama in another location and in another place. Now we will go to the next shloka. Kameshwara Prananadi Kritagnya Kama Pujita Shringara Rasa Sampurna Jaya Jalandara Sthita. Kameshwara Prananadi. Prananadi. Tamilla Uir Nadi. Jivanadi. அப்படின்லாம் சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா? Uir Nadi is very, very important. Jivanadi is very, very important. Lifeline. Arterial line. அதெல்லாம் சொல்றோம் இங்கிலீஷ்ல. Lifeline. Ambal is the lifeline for Kameshwara. Kameshwara Prananadi. அப்படிங்கிறா. Sudhamapyasvadya Pratibhaya Jaramrutyuharani Vipadyante Vishve Vidishatamakaabdya Divishataha Karalam Yakshvelam Kabalitavata Kalakalana Nashambhostanmulam Tava Janani Tatanka Mahima, says Acharya in Saundaralahari. Sudhamapi Aswadya Pratibhaya Jara Mrityu Harini Vipadyante Vishwe, he Ambal, he Lalitha Devi, he Kamakshi, all the Devas, including Brahma and Vishnu, they drank Amritam. Sudha means Amritam. They drank Amritam after the Amrita Mathanam episode. When they did the Amrita Mathanam, first Hala Hala Visham came and then Amritam came. All the Devas, they drank Amritam. What did Parameshwara drink? Parameshwara drink the Hala Hala Visham. He drank the poison. Vipadyante Vishwe. So, but all the Devas, including Brahma and Vishnu, during the Pralaya Kala, even though they drank Amritam, they are not here. Everybody gets dissolved in Parameshwara. But hey, Ambar, on the other hand, this other guy, this Parameshwara, even though he drank the poison, he is still there during Pralaya Kala. Maheshwara Mahakalpa Mahatandava Sakshini. He is not only present, but he is also dancing. Even though he drank poison, he has got so much energy to dance during the Pralaya Kala. How? Tava Janani Tatanka Mahima. It is because of your Tatanka Mahima. It is because of the Mahima of your Tatanka. It is Ambal's Pativrathatvam, Ambal's Saumangalyatvam. Parameshwara is present even after drinking the Hala Hala poison, says Adi Shankaracharya and Soundarali. That is why having Tatanka is very, very important for Suvasinis, because it is concerned with their husband's lifeline. It is their husband's lifeline. I'm not saying, Acharya is saying in Soundarya Lahari, Kameshwara Prananadi. In fact, Mahaperiyava, he interprets a mantra from Sri Rudram to say this. Yate Rudra Shiva Tanu Shiva Vishwaha Bheshaji Shiva Rudrasya Bheshaji Tayano Mrida Jivase. Say Sri Rudram Vedam. Yate Rudra Shiva Tanu Shiva Vishwaha Bheshaji. Shiva Abdina Parameshwaran. Shiva Abdina Ambal. Whenever this Dirgham comes, in most of the times in Sanskritam language, it is a Strilinga. It refers to Ambal. Shiva Parameshwaran. Shiva means Shiva Akaram Vardhilya. Adanala the Ambal. Shiva Vishwaha Bheshaji. Ambal is the Bheshajam. Bheshajam means medicine. Bheshajam na medicine artham. Ambal is the medicine for the entire universe. Now we have all those different diseases. There is great stotra called as Indrakshi Stotra. If we chant Indrakshi Stotram, they say all the diseases will go away. People, sisters will now chant, even they now chant those Indrakshi Stotram now, right now. Only because of them, we just have, whatever we are here, we are so blessed. It is because of all their Parayana Phalam. We are all having good life. Shiva Vishwaha Beshaji. Ambal is the medicine for Vishwa. Vishwa means the entire universe. Veda does not stop there. Shiva Rudrasya Beshaji. Ambal is the medicine for Parameshwara as well. Because Parameshwara has drunk the poison. There has to be a medicine to counteract that poison, right? That medicine is nothing but Ambal, Tava Janani, Tadanga Mahima. Tayano Mrida Jivase. Only because of you, Mrida is another name for Rudra. Tayano Mrida Jivase. Only because of you, Parameshwara lives. Says Shruti, says Mahaperiyava to Mullaivasal Krishnamurti Shastrigal. He has told in one of his talks, he has told that Mahaperiyava interprets this in this way. So, Kameshwara Prananatyai Namaha. Kameshwara Prananadi. With this, we will finish today's class. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thanks a lot. Nama next class paatlam. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Shamji.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shamji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shama.
Yeah.